Hello everyone, it's the anime here, and today we're making What If Deku had the Death Note episode 3. But before we get into that, I have a couple of First off, I'm gonna have to apologize for my absence. Lately, I've been busy and stuff, but I'm gonna be back on the grind for real this time. And also, in the description or bio, you're gonna be able to find a link to me and my friend's store. And we just broke a couple designs, not for the YouTube channel, but just for the fun of it. But if you like to check it out, go ahead. And finally, subscribe before Rocket puts a cap on your head. That's right, she's gonna put a cap on your head. Alright, so where I left off, All Might and a lot of the other heroes and just basically the state of Japan was trying to figure out who this vigilante was that were killing off all the villains. And obviously this was Deku using his Death Note, but no one knows that. So, next we begin the UA entrance exam, which Deku thinks about and trying again, but then he just says that would just get him a way of doing business here. So, I'm not even gonna do it. So, with that, everything goes up to canon besides with Uraraka. Now, Uraraka is still able to pass, and she doesn't get hurt in any way, but she almost does, but she moves out of the way just in time. So, everything basically goes up to canon besides no one saving Uraraka and Deku obviously not going to the entrance exam. Okay, so now we continue on till Deku randomly sees Bakugo in the streets one day, and Bakugo says, "Ha, so you didn't show up to the entrance exams. You actually took my advice. You don't want to become a hero. I knew you'd never become anything." And then Deku just turns and looks at Kanchan. "You don't know half the things I'm doing, Kanchan. I'll become a better hero than you. Just watch." And he says it in such a sinister tone, but Bakugo just says, "Yeah, whatever, Deku. We'll see how that works." So, now, I've had a strange encounter with Bakugo. Bakugo starts thinking, wonder what he meant by that. Probably nothing. And Deku says in his mind, he doesn't even know. I could kill him right now, but he's gonna be a good hero one day. If there even is any after I'm done with him. So, now, after too much pass, Deku kills around another 200 villains. Or just 3 thugs. And now all of Japan is being put on notice, basically, because all the villains that he's killed has been in Japan, and basically everyone's actually starting to figure out, something's going on here. Someone's killing these villains, because no way are all these villains just disappearing or having random heart attacks and so on and so forth. So, it kind of starts to spread wide panic throughout Japan. And at this time, the people of UA are actually getting their acceptance letters. So class is beginning in a week after. So, a week after, Deku actually joins general studies at UA just to keep up on the heroes at UA, just for research purposes. So, now, everything goes the same, basically, besides deku not being in Class 1A or Class 1B, and just being in General Studies. Now here, he meets Sensho, which has a very, very powerful quirk, which you guys might know as mind control. And Deku and him kind of become a little bit of pals, friends. And yeah. So Sensho and Deku are actually good friends after talking a little bit, and they hang out at lunch and so on and so forth, talking about their ideals and so forth. And when Deku's ideals get brought up, he mentions the fact that he thinks that heroes should be able just to kill villains if need be, and there should be no reason why not. They shouldn't be able to kill them, especially when they're trying to cause harm to many people. And Sensho's like, and kind of combats the idea, but he also slightly agrees with Deku. But yeah, they become friends, and this is going to be important later on in the storyline. So now we move on to the USJ arc, really, because there's nothing really that Deku's a part of, because it's not in Class 1A. So with that in mind, we move on to the USJ arc, which they have an extra spot open, and they ask if any of the general studies people want to go, just to see some US students in action. And Deku obviously wants to see him in action, so he says yes and accepts this. So now we get into the USJ arc. And as they enter the building, all the lights start to flicker, and then a huge, gigantic portal opens in the middle. And then Aizawa says, "I stay back. Students, stay back. This is not a drill. This is a real villain attack." And so all the other students get scared. And then Deku says, "I have to do something. I have to do something. I did bring a page of my death note and I could see their names. But I have to do this in somewhere in solitude." And then Kurogiri shows up behind him and then wipes him away. So, with this, they all get sent to the same places. Deku being teleported with Suyu and Mineta. And then Deku starts to formulate a plan, asking him what the powers are and what the extent of the powers are, and blah blah blah. And then Deku says, "Alright, so yours power is to turn to frog, and yours is sticky balls. What if you, Mineta, what if you just chucked all your sticky balls at the villains over there, try to get them stuck in the water so they drown?" And then Mineta says, "Wouldn't that kill him?" And then Deku says, "Well, do you want to die?" And it won't kill him. They probably just float, then I will move. So then Mineta starts chucking balls, and then he tells Suyu, "Alright, once Mineta's done here, you and Mineta should be able to escape home free. I'll stay in the boat though. Don't worry about me." So, once they do that, Froppy and Mineta go, and they get to land safely. And then Izuku, knowing that he's home free, takes out the piece of the death note that he has in his backpack and writes all the village names down, besides a couple that he really couldn't get a good glimpse of, which was obviously Tomoshiguraki, Kurogiri, and that one Nomu. So he kills all the villains, And then as Tomura Shigaraki looks around, he says, huh, is this one of the villain killers that I've been hearing about? We should get out of here, Kugiri. Who knows how this person's powers work? But I'd rather not die today. I guess this is game over. For now. And Tomura Shigaraki and Kurigiri escape with their lives, and right as they do that, All Might busts through the door and says, why all the... And then he realizes, and he yells, no! So this means that this villain killer was here. Somewhere here. He must have been on the roof or something. Is the student from the general studies okay? And then Froppy and Mineta tell All Might where he is, and All Might comes to get him, and gets him. And he says, oh yes, you're young Midoriya, correct? And then Deku says, yes, I am. And All Might says, oh, sorry for putting you in such a scary situation. And then Deku says, nah, it's fine. I'm not really scared of these situations. They're kinda fun. And Deku laughed in kind of a sinister way that kinda puts All Might on edge a little bit. But then All Might says, alright, young Midoriya. Well, seems that everything was taken care of. And yeah. So, that's where I'm going to be leaving off for you today. So, the anime logging off.